You don't need to be a pro to have a go. If you've ever picked up knitting needles, or even if you haven't, making a knitted bunting triangle is going to be really, really simple, and I'm here to show you how to do it. All you need to make bunting triangles is a pair of knitting needles and a ball of yarn. Today I'm going to show you how to make a basic triangle like this. The full instructions are on the website at devoncountyshow.co.uk. Now you cast on along the base of the triangle, so along this edge, and you use whichever technique you prefer to cast on with. If you know knitting, I tend to use the 2-needle or cable cast on because that's the one I was taught as a child and that's the one I've always used. But you can use any cast on method that you're used to, and cast on 31 stitches. When you have your 31 stitches on your left hand needle, you knit 4 rows. As every row is knit, that's a garter stitch. Once you've done your 4 rows, the next row is a decrease row. Now this uses a couple of different techniques that I'll go through with you very slowly, step by step, just to demonstrate. We want to keep a straight edge on our triangle. We don't want nasty little jig-jags going up the side. So the first stitch needs to be knitted, as normal. The next stitch is slipped. That just involves putting the needle through the stitch and passing it without working it from one needle to the other. The third stitch is knitted in the normal manner. Then comes the tricky bit. You take the tip of your left hand needle, push it back through the second stitch, and then take the second stitch over the third stitch and off. That lays the 2 stitches together and makes 2 stitches into 1 stitch. Knit to almost the end of the row. When you have 3 stitches left on the left hand needle, it's when you want to do your next decrease. This time it's a straightforward knit 2 together. So you put your right hand needle through the next 2 stitches, yarn round once to knit, take them off together. This again brings the 2 stitches into 1, but in a different way. The decrease leans in the different direction. And then the last stitch is just knit to keep a nice straight edge. So you continue to work a decrease row, then 3 rows of knitting, another decrease row, 3 rows of knitting, decrease row, so on, until you end up with 5 stitches on your needle. I've repeated my 3-row knit, decrease 1 row, right up to the point where I have 5 stitches left on my needle. I've knitted 3 rows, and I'm now ready to do the penultimate decrease. So as before, knit a stitch, slip the next stitch, knit the next 2 stitches together, and then pass your slip stitch over the needle and off. And then it's knit the last stitch. That's left me with 3 stitches. Again, I need to do my 3 rows. This won't take you very long because there's only 9 stitches in total. And now I have 3 stitches on my needle, and the final decrease is the same as before, but you don't do the knit stitch at the beginning and end. So, slip the first stitch, knit second and third stitch together, pass slip stitch over. That leaves you 1 stitch at the very point of your bunting triangle. Now to finish off, don't just cut the yarn because that'll unravel and end up undoing all your work. Holding the yarn, just take it round the needle once and take the stitch up and over. Okay, So basically you've just knitted one stitch. Cut your yarn, excuse me, snip, and just pull it through. Then you have a completed bunting triangle. You need to count your rows between your decreases, and your decrease row should always be on an odd numbered row. If you look at your work, you'll see it looks a little bit like a ploughed field viewed from the top. This is your cast on edge, then you have a furrow, which is your first row, then a ridge, which is your second row. You need to count your ridges to see how many rows you've done. Each ridge is an even numbered row. So the first ridge is row number 2, the second ridge is row number 4, the third ridge is row number 6, and so on. Your decrease row should always be on a furrow row, so an odd numbered row. And that's it. Have fun. Thank you for watching.